Time to get underway as we take it out to the table. Aaron Davies against Josh Juhasz. Here we go then. Aaron Davies is in the house. He is the seeded player for this Champions League group. With that, he comes in as the bookie's favourite. Referee Oryx Tesgale behind him, getting our evening started. Terrific opening break from Aaron, but that is somehow going to be dry. Not really quite sure how. I mean, look how well he strikes this break. It's hit so well, right up the middle of the table. Well,
tough one, isn't it?
Tough one to take.
He'll be happy if he hits the break that well all night long. If he does, it could well be the only dry one he hits all night. The only thing I would say is it's not left the best of layouts, actually.
Oh, well, we're going to start with a time foul. Welcome to 2025, Josh Juhasz.
Yeah,
first foul of the shot clock.
Wow. I mean, I think that tells you how tricky the layout was. The fact that he was thinking about the layout for so long that he forgot about the fact he's got to play the shot. But for a second, I thought he was going to style it out and walk around the table, but he knew that he was a long way over. Of course, he pots the ball, but remains open table. Cue ball in hand anywhere for Aaron here. So quite a bit to think about, though. Still don't particularly like the layout, even with ball in hand. The other thing there, did Josh use his extension? I'm not sure he did.
No.
So he absolutely could have had an extra 15 and not time fouled. This is interesting. This is interesting. So he's taking reds. Now, he can pop the red to top left and try and open up the right-hand side of the table. He could, if the yellow at the top doesn't go top left, the one in the middle, he could play the loss of turn and just put the white in a really safe place. But it looks like he's trying to be a bit more aggressive than that. And yeah, that's not really worked. Solved one problem, left one up there. Aaron is that sort of player, though, that could see take the colour set, play the loss of turn, take complete control of the frame.
Wouldn't be surprised if he did. That's a little glimpse of his younger brother. That's Ryan Davies.
Good cueist in his own right. We've seen him out there on this table. Very much a snooker player.
Fabulous cueist, yeah. But for a long time, that was sort of one of Aaron's gimmicks. Was what's a fun fact about yourself? That he was only the second best cueist in his own family. Ryan, a very competitive snooker player. And is no slouch on the pool table either.
So no loss of turn there. If he plays the loss of turn, he actually leaves the table open and gains no advantage from it. So he squeezed the red in to block the pocket and not leave too much on. I think this yellow might actually go in the centre pocket or as an off-angle plant, but the yellow that he's nearest to doesn't pass the red to the top right, so it's far from an easy chance. Aaron gets the reward, chance to win the frame, a routine chance to win the frame, you'd say. Doesn't go down the table by the looks of it, so wants to leave a nice angle to track down for it into the centre pocket. Maybe it does go bottom left the way he was looking there, but leaving the red in the middle of the table, unless he gets the perfect angle, means he's going to come down the right hand side of it, so I'm assuming there's a little bit more room than it looked from our camera angle. So means straight would be no good, but just off straight means he can get to the left-hand side and take it right centre where there's a lot more room. Can't tell the angle from this camera angle. That was to left centre. Controlled aggression from Aaron in this frame, isn't it? You know, he wanted to make it happen, didn't, but pulled back at the right time and gets his reward.
Yeah, and the first frame of the night goes the way of the Cyborg. So nicknamed, I think, because of his sort of temperament around the table. He is very, very solid. Almost appears emotionless out there, gives you very, very little compared to a fair few players.
A nod to his cue action and being very, you know, one-eye dominant as well.
Josh Juhasz to break. 24-50.
Not a good frame from Josh, that one. He'd be disappointed. The time foul was pretty poor, really. And then obviously missed an awkward plant on the back of it as well. So we'll look for something positive to get his night going. And hits a good break.
Yeah, he'll be delighted with the break.
Going yellows. I could open up the yellow at the bottom first shot. The two yellows on the right hand side together, they're not really a problem, and now these yellows look really good, don't they? So good first shot, opens everything up. Must be so simple for him that he's not worried about leaving it as a big pocket. Uses that ball to get on the plant. He's not going to be hitting this with enough pace for the yellow to go anywhere drastic.
And he's got a sort of a noticeable spring in his step, looking to play quite quick. It might be a little bit because of he sort of figured it out. Once he figured it out, it's a fairly simple run out, but I wonder if that time foul's having any impact whatsoever on his pace around the table.
Yeah, it would hurry me up, that's for sure.
Pretty nice from Josh Juhasz. And he squares things back up, and that will be a pleasing response. Mentioned he'd have been so disappointed with that first frame, but actually to come straight back in frame two and fire that in, you've got to be pretty pleased.
Yeah, first break clearance of the night as well, really nicely done. You'd say for majority professional pool players, that's a sort of standard MO, isn't it? Hit a good break, you've normally got one problem to solve, which he did. Solved it first shot, which is absolutely when you want to, and then it's just picked the pattern that made the frame look easy, and he did make it look easy as well.
It was all about that first shot, played a very, very good one.
Eight ball, here we go.
Wow.
Straight away. And it's mad because he hits this one nowhere near as well as the first break where he was dry. I was just thinking he's going to be happy with this, and then all of a sudden, bang.
Yeah, it just gets a boot, doesn't it, towards the end? He almost doesn't know what to do with himself, Aaron Davies. That 8 ball was completely stationary. And then, gets a kick up the behind right at the end of the balls in motion. And just like that, he's 2-1 in front.
Yeah, he's got to work on the celebration though, hasn't he?
Well, ironically, in the clips that we showed right at the start of the show, we saw an Aaron Davies golden break. He gave it a bit of the thumbs up. But on that one, I think he was so surprised with what happened. I think he completely taken aback.
Well, he knew the minute he hit it that cue ball was going close to the corner, so he's thinking, oh no, I've scratched on the back of what I did in the opening frame where I hit a great break and got nothing. But cue ball stays up, he makes the ball, and then all of a sudden, perfect kiss for him.
Yeah, I mean, how do you like that?
Josh hits this break better than he hit the first one. He hit the first one well.
Yeah, for Josh, he's just got to keep in mind that he can only control what he can control. Mentioned in his interview, he's been working hard with a coach about specifically on the mental side of the game, and it's really interesting to hear that, because in a really strange way, this is one of the most mentally taxing sports games, whatever you want to call it, you can play, because it's one of the very, very few sports where you can play perfect and not win, and mentally that takes a lot to adjust to that.
Yeah, it is. I think match play sport in particular, it just really gets you, and what your opponent does directly has that impact, doesn't it, immediately on you, and if your opponent plays well, there's literally nothing you can do if you don't get enough chances.
Just played a lovely shot there.
Yeah, and that shot was all about the cue ball leaving the angle to develop the only bad yellow on the table. But that's a poor shot. Yeah, he actually had to come from off the cushion. I thought he had the angle to do it. Going straight into it, it was only really going to go that way. Double then. That's what he's lined up. Red should hold the cue ball on the yellow at the top of the table, which gives him a nice way to get on the yellow at the bottom. So it just puts everything into the double. Beautiful. Beautiful. He may have left himself a touch straight, but that's okay. You'd like to be off the cushion, just so when he plays the one at the bottom of the table, he might have to use the red just to hold. But the key there was make sure of making the double and give yourself a chance. I quite like playing into the red here. If you punch this in, you're going to get the full ball cannon on the red, and that leaves you on the 8 ball left centre. I think if you try and float it in and you get a cannon you're not expecting, all of a sudden you're in trouble. So just play it. Something like that.
Yeah, nicely played again from Josh Juhasz. And another very, very good visit to the table. First frame aside, been really pleased with what I've seen so far from Josh.
Yeah, and what I like there, he talked about the mental side of the game is he made an error, got the cannon wrong, sent the ball safe, but was immediately right, okay, right, how do I solve it again? I've made an error, or the cannon didn't go to plan, whichever way you want to look at it, but the recovery shot was a double and just got about his business and got it done. It was very nice. Both players look good out there. Aaron played a solid opening frame. 2 break clearances from Josh. See the golden break as well from Aaron. His break's been a little bit of the story of the match. What's he got for us?
A little bit more routine almost.
Well, he had a dead pack, I think. They just didn't open at all on him. So he makes a couple of balls, but I mean, look at the replay. Very little unfolded in the triangle area. Just the core just opened a fraction. So actually, not a good outcome for him, really. These reds are pretty good, but he obviously can't take reds. Question is, does he want to take the yellows on? I don't think yellows are actually that bad. It's just that first shot. He's got the yellow, but I'm not sure there's a connection to get on anything nicely. And in fact, he had to actually turn that in.
Yeah, he's done pretty well there. Just to have anything here, it's not ideal.
It was all about the cue ball, and that's an excellent shot. So he was taking the yellow to then play safe, which is a really good couple of shots he's just played.
There's Jaden Billingham watching on, the 17-year-old. He'll be in action in our next match. Big night for him. Against a former world champion first up.
Oh, he's made it. What a shot.
Wow.
I mean, he was just trying to hit the red. I don't think he was even thinking about making that, but disappointing side for him is the fact that the two reds have kind of not gone on for him, so it's only going to be a safety. But he can get a safety here. He can clip off the one plate into the yellow and just get the cue ball middle of the bottom cushion where there's room. There is room. He's got the control of the safety battle.
Yeah. Didn't get complete control of the frame. He couldn't go and win it courtesy of this shot, but he has got control of the exchange here, Josh Juhasz. Now Aaron Davies has to find himself a similarly excellent shot.
You have to say, even if that ball doesn't go in for Josh, he still gets the cue ball in a good position. So it's not as though, you know, it was a fluke or anything like that. He was trying to kind of knock it across, but he was just trying to get the cue ball down amongst those reds on the bottom of the table, and he did that well. Now the question is, does he want to be aggressive? Can he pot the left hand one of the two together in the middle? Looks like he can. Great shot. And the two reds actually plant pretty comfortably bottom left. I think the 8 ball goes. If it doesn't, you're going to be close enough to your work. In fact, he comes this way around, so doesn't have to worry about the plant. I thought he might track behind that, but this is better because he can play into the 8 ball like that. What was good about Josh's safety shot there? Let him pop the 8 ball first. And
there was lots.
Yeah. He takes the lead. The safety shot from Josh was what was good. Obviously, he made the ball, which was obviously a bonus for him, and then it allowed him to play safe. But what he did when he played that safety is he tied up 2 of Aaron's balls. So when Aaron then gets out of the snooker, as you know he's going to, he's left a pot on, but that pot becomes, I wouldn't say a free shot, because you know you always expect your opponent to come up with an amazing finish, but he could take it on with a little bit more confidence, knowing that Aaron had 2 absolutely dead balls and a dead 8 ball at the bottom of the table, and then obviously from there he was just clean and clinical, just really simple stuff. So
yeah, you call it confidence, Si. Me and the fellow pub league hackers call it insurance.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's the same difference essentially, even at the top level. It doesn't hurt. Aaron Davies 3-2 down. He may not see the table again. Races to 4 here. What a belting break. Well, he's got options. He has got options. I wonder if he fancies yellows, he might be able to get right to the top rail immediately, which would help him out a lot.
Yeah, if he gets on the top rail, then he doesn't have to worry about a cannon.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, which means he can. I mean, he's going to get the cannon on the red, but he's going to get it from control from right next to it, rather than having to go from it from the middle of the table. So, perfect shot again. Well, I can only assume that's gone completely wrong for him. He had enough angle to punch that and flick the red. If he flicks the red, then that yellow at the top of the table's on and he's out.
Yeah, strange one really.
My question is he playing the clock? Has he done that on purpose to slow this down and leave a dead red at the top of the table? Or did he just miss it? It's difficult to say because he missed it by such a margin that...
I mean, potentially, but it feels like a risk, because say he makes the next 2 balls, Aaron will have, what, 145, and, you know, it's not out of the question.
Well, I can only assume that he was I mean, from the angle that he came out at, it looked like he could have really forced that to get the cannon, but maybe he felt he was just too straight, because if he'd got the cannon on the red, you know, punch it back, basically, you catch it quarter ball, you flick the yellow on without doing any damage anywhere else, and then you're pretty much out. So I'm sure he would have played it.
Excellent shot though from Aaron. And now Josh mustn't foul. As long as he doesn't foul here, he's okay. And he hasn't. That's an excellent shot.
It is, because it forces Aaron to have to do the work here. And this is the advantage of Josh not moving that red at the top of the table. Clever from Aaron. Aaron was really wanting that red to go all the way up the table. He'd love that to have been nearer the break line, because then it becomes a great ball to play the cannon at the top and open everything up. So good thinking out there from Aaron. Was he playing this red off the yellow? It's a big shot. That yellow's a long way from the pocket.
Oh, this would be some shot from Aaron.
Looks like
Davies.
he's just potting it though, naturally.
No, it was off the yellow, and that was really difficult.
Yeah.
So Josh Juhasz's calculated gamble is going to pay off with 35 seconds and ticking left in this match. He simply needs to pot the open balls. Doesn't even necessarily have to worry about the 8 ball here, although he might want to get out in time. He's going to. But yeah, we questioned it initially, but well, the proof is in the pudding. Josh Juhasz's tactical play there is one out against one of the best tactical players on the Ultimate Pool circuit.
He's played a really solid match, hasn't he?
That is as comfortable as I've seen Josh Juhasz, I think, on the main arena table. Looked the business there, did the Jackal, and he'll be hoping that he can continue that when he comes a little bit later on. Before then, though, we've still got more players to see. Jaden Billingham up next. He takes on the former world champion John Rowe. Stay with us.